Welcome to the Metal Crafter. In today's video for the Rise of the Runelords series, we're gonna be creating the first one of several games that you can run during the Swallowtail Festival. These games will work as an introduction to the Pathfinder rules for your players. The official book only mentions that some games take place during the festival, but it doesn't really go into detail on any of them. That took some creative fans and DMs to create their own. In the video description, I'll leave a link to a document where I compiled several of the games and then I used in my table. I'm also leaving credits for who created this in the Paisos forum. The first and simple game we'll be creating today is called Toss the Goblin. So let's go through the description and let's hit the table. Three goblins have found their way into your house and are tearing the place up. Grab them and toss them into the fireplace before they can destroy everything. This game is a simple beanbag toss set up in the middle of the Sandpoint Market Square. A board is set up with 3 holes in line, 10 feet from a throw line. The closest hole is the largest and the farthest hole is the smallest. There is a bucket of beanbags sewn to look like goblins by the throw line. Each beanbag has a goblin name printed on it. Alright, so first thing we're going to build is the good board, which should be 1 by 2 squares. As I'm using 2 cm long squares, that would be 2 cm by 4 cm. We cut a thin piece of foam with these measures and then we make 3 progressively bigger holes aligned in the center. If you don't have foam, you can definitely use cardboard. I started with the X-Acto knife, but then used the hot tip of the glue gun to round the holes. After that, I cut 2 triangles for the sides of the board, 4 cm long and 1.7 cm high, so the board ends up with some inclination. We then just glue all pieces. Next, I'm grabbing a small foam leftover and cut a little square for the back of the board. We also cut a small square hole in it before gluing for the goblin beanbags to be retrieved from the board. With that, our main board is ready and we can move to the Goblin bucket. So, I had this super glue cup with a pretty cool shape and thought I could reuse it for the bucket. I start by sewing it to the desired height and also to get rid of the inner part. Once cut, I sand it a bit so the bottom is straight and then carve some good lines on the outside. For the bottom of the bucket, we cut a small round cardboard piece and we also cut some thin stripes that we'll glue to the sides. We glue all pieces with super glue . And we can see here our finished bucket. Next, we'll cut some very small pieces of toothpick, around ½ centimeter, and throw them inside the bucket along with a few very small beads, which will act as the body and heads of our bean bags. We then add a little bit of PVA glue. Our bucket is now ready and we can move to create some individual Goblin beanbags. We cut 3 small pieces of toothpick around ½ centimeter, which will act as legs and arms. Just eyeball the measures. We glue everything with super glue. We'll use small beads as the heads . Not shown here, but we also make the Goblins' bellies with a little bit of 2-part epoxy modeling putty or a drop of silicone. Whatever you have at hand, and we can proceed with painting. While at it, I also sculpted some small ears. We first paint the whole board and the bucket's interior and exterior sides with a dark brown, and then the goblins inside the bucket and the individual ones with some light green. We then add some dark brown to make the goblins' robes. We can see our small goblins here. Which kind of look like the Mandalorian's Baby Yoda, right? After that, we dry brush the bucket and board with some light brown, gray or white, and then we apply a dark wash on top. Lastly, we paint the bucket's metal stripes with the dark silver or gunmetal. To finish our piece, we add some PVA glue in the bucket and then set the individual goblins inside in the desired position with the help of some tweezers. We can see now how this works in the table. There we have our Toss the Goblin game, a very simple craft that we can include in our festival. Make sure to check the actual game's RPG rules so you can have your players to interact with and win some prizes. Our next game in this series is called the Lighthouse Smash, so make sure that you subscribe to the channel not to miss it. We'll be creating a miniature catapult. As always, if you like the video, hit the like button and leave your comments below. See you in the next craft.